Many thanks to you by very deserving.
Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, we pause at this time just to say thank you. We thank you for your darling Son, Jesus, that hung, bled, and died on the Calvary cross for our salvation. We thank you for this season. We thank you for this meeting that we all come together on one accord. And Father, we thank you for enabling us to travel up and down the dangerous highways, and we ask you to give us traveling grace back home. Let us make to do the best that we can and make the best decision that we can on this day. These things we pray in Jesus' name, forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
Bernstein McGee. Here. Elizabeth G. Present. Windsor Andrews.
Present.
Calvin Walker.
Present.
Don Potan. Here. Kirkland Ladd.
Here.
Gina Eubanks. Here. Carmen Avalani.
Here.
Maya Banks. Here. Allison Johnson.
Here.
Terry Washington.
Here.
Lee Hampton.
Here.
Gabriel Sabatu.
Here.
Robin Merrick. Here. Patricia Mienzi. Here. Dr. Bell.
Here.
That's it. We have a quorum.
Yes.
Yeah. No, this is a public search. Is there anyone representing the public and would like to make any comment? The public comment? There being none, could someone move for the adoption of the agenda? If y'all have the agenda from the first.
I move for adoption. The agenda. I'll second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Welcome and charge to the committee. Yes. President, you are the honor.
But indeed, thank you for allowing me a moment just to express my appreciation to all of you who expressed the willingness to serve on this most important committee. Indeed, it begins with Dr. Ladd, who I've observed from afar for many years and who enjoys the distinction that he has brought to the Southern University Ag Center. When we contemplated, as we gave them this, as we offered discussion about leading the committee, his name continued to pop up and as one who would warrant consideration as chair, in keeping with his integrity and service and leadership to the Ag Center. And so we asked that he would assume this role, and I'm pleased that he agreed to do so. So thank you, Dr. Ladd, for having done that. And then also I have had the occasion to work with Dr. Eubanks on occasion, sometimes from afar, and know of her continual contributions to the Ag Center. And we as well asked if she would join Dr. Ladd in offering leadership to this committee, and she so agreed and is present. So over the years, I've had, and even more recently, I've had the occasion to engage with some of you, Windsor Andrews. I go back a long way. And of course, he had a storied history at LSU. And in recent years, I've come to know many of the faculty who today are really defining the Southern University system by way of your work and your distinction. And so it is really a joy for me to welcome you and to express again my gratitude to all of you for your dedication that you are willing to sacrifice your time to invest in selecting the new leader for the Ag. And so, as I see it, your work will be imperative in securing a platform or foundation for the activity today and tomorrow. Let me say to you that as we continue to engage with the stakeholders here in Baton Rouge in the state of Louisiana, you know, we continue to find that these are interesting times, let me put it that way. You know, times when people continue to talk about the landscape for higher education in the state of Louisiana, where there's a continual emphasis on trying to realize efficiencies along the way for institutions to be able to carry their load in a way that allows them to become even less dependent on the state, and in some degree assuming some responsibility for continuing to establish a footprint in the state of Louisiana. And that requires then for us to do a couple of things. One, offer evidence that we believe that we'll work within a model that works, where we have the 5 campuses that are autonomous with one another, and yet where each is contributing significantly to the citizens of the state of Louisiana. And we also, in my opinion, have to have an individual who could offer leadership in such a way that highlights those contributions, that provides the wherewithal and a pathway where we can look even more harder for ways that enable us to be more self-sufficient. The ways that we could really highlight for all who want to meaningfully donate our contributions. And I think that's where the degree to which we could demonstrate our value to the state mitigates, you know, some of the noise that continue to require us to react. And so selecting a leader for this institution, I think, is an imperative at this time in the history of the Southern University system and the extension center. And it requires us, it's going to require this committee then to engage in due diligence, in a transparent manner, being open-minded along the way, with the sole objective of finding the best fit for this institution at this time. Since I assumed this role, I've been actually thrilled at the realization that we've advanced some searches the right way. The right way, where the most prepared candidate goes to the top. And there's always, you know, I mean, I'm not naive. There's always influences that try to pull you one way or the other. And I think that should be expected, even in this search. But then again, it rests on the shoulders of this committee to, again, be singularly and narrowly focused simply on what's in the best interest of this institution. And that's all I want from you as members of the committee, is to assist me in being able to recommend that candidate or a series of candidates to the board for their further consideration. And so, to be more specific, in in keeping with your diligence, and I would ask, Mr. Chair, that you bring to me 3 candidates unranked for my review and subsequent review by the Board of Supervisors. And quite frankly, I'm asking that you do so within a restricted time. You talked about that. Yeah, but I do want to say this, and I've said this to other service committees, is that, you know, we're going to ask if at all possible, you could give a consideration to the tentative timeline that you will discuss. But again, if you cannot, the selection of the best person is the board. So if you need more time, you're going to be extended more time. Okay. And I discussed that then.
Yeah.
But I am actually keeping with we would just want to have or want to be in a position to say that we've selected the chancellor for the accident prior to the beginning of the legislative session or during this legislative session. Okay, and such that we can demonstrate some stability within the education system. And that's why we have to restrict, or we're trying to be sensitive to the timeline, Mr. Chair. Yeah, within reason. And so, I guess that would be the charge, is to have an appreciation of the environment for which we're working within. To be diligent, if you will, in your deliberations, as guided simply by the request before you to find the most ably prepared person who can bring appropriate leadership to the ag extension sector. And to me, within a reasonable time frame that will be discussed, 3 candidates. As such, that candidate or those candidates will be interviewed by the Board of Supervisors and ultimately selected. We're hopeful at the March 4th of this year.
Any questions for the President? Thank you very much, Mr. President. I'm having difficulty with the title of President Chancellor. If I stop at President, I'm sure you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. And as chair of this committee, I'm duty bound to make sure we live up to the expectation of the President. And so with that, I've known all of you for quite some time, so hopefully we work diligently to make sure that we get the best candidates for the President. The time prescribed. Okay, at this time I'd like to introduce the committee members. You're no strangers, but we're calling you, just say a little about yourself, just briefly, that after today, we're no longer strangers, we know exactly who it is. Let's start with Ms. Latrice over here.
I'm Lynn Betty's, I'm a finance director at the Ag Center campus, and I'm happy to serve.
Dr. McGee.
I'm Bernstein McGee, professor and program leader for Human Nutrition and Food Program.
Bernstein and I, we go back a long way. Windsor.
Thank you. My name is Windsor Andrews. I currently live in Shreveport, Louisiana. I retired from the LSU Ag Center in 2005. I started as a youth agent in 1969, and when I retired, I was classified as area specialist in community leadership and economic development for Northwest Louisiana. I enjoyed my career. I flunked retirement 2 years later. And went to work one of Governor General's programs called Appointment of Corrections. And I served on the governor's parole board for 4 years. And then when I rolled off of that, I decided to stay at home and just do volunteer work. And I've known Dr. Belton for the black that we care even talked about. So thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this.
Lee Hampton, I retired as county agent, parish chairman in St. Louis Parish, Opelousas County seat. I worked in 4 or 5 other parishes, Lafayette, Prince-P, Haverfield. I served as chairperson of the St. Louis Economic Development Program for 3.5 years. And retired on January 1st, 2002. I went to work with the assessor's office as deputy assessor for 13 years. And I was out last year for a while, and I'm back part-time in the assessor's office.
Terry.
My name is Terry Washington, and I'm the county agent and parish chairman in Rapides Parish. And I've been employed at Southern University for 36 years. And you gentlemen here talking about retirement, I'm almost at the door of retirement. Still thinking about it.
It's about the.
I'm Sabato Berro, professor of final science here. Patricia Mayense, professor of agriculture economics.
Allison Johnson, USDA liaison.
Amaya Latham, representative of the board.
Dawn Mellon Patin, president of the Southern University Ag Center Falcon Staff Center.
Cameron Abdullahi, program leader and graduate director for urban forestry and natural resources.
My name is All Depends. I came here as Calvin Walker. When I write grants, I do well when I say C. Reuben Walker. And I'm a native of Sweetwater, born at Cherry Hospital, raised in Cleveland Parish. And I've been here at Southern University since 1985.
Robin.
I'm Robin Merritt. I'll be serving as your search committee administrator, helping you all with the search. I'm the president of the Chancellor's office. I've been at Southern a long time and glad to be here to assist.
And you want to listen to the president today? How about this young lady?
Vice Chancellor for Extensive here at the Southern University Ag Center and the Associate Vice President at the LSU Ag Center. 25 years and counting and still enjoying. Having a good time is what I do. Each and every day.
I'm Kirkland Millard, and I'm happy to serve as the chair. I'm retired.
Are you sure?
4 years. I'm retired. 4 years. I'm retired 4 years after 37 years of service in the university. So I'm happy to do this. I told the president that after serving for so long, my way of giving back something, so I'm giving back my time. Hopefully, the check will be in the mail. That's for the record. At this point, we'd like to review Chancellor job description. This is for the announcement.
You want the actual description document.
The actual description, okay.
The one with the banner across the top.
Okay.
We're guessing.
So, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, please.
So, here is, in your packet, we provided a position description that we believe merits some of that highlights some of the responsibilities of the role. But we also wanted to share if this committee would offer us some guidance as well, particularly maybe highlighting some of the attributes as we prepare a job announcement to be published on the web and circulars. We want to have a better appreciation from this committee, maybe some of the other attributes that you think we should seek in identifying the candidates for Chancellor, the Agricultural Research and Extension Center. So I'm not sure if y'all want to have that discussion, but we're prepared to just kind of take some notes to try to define even more succinctly some of the attributes and qualifications that you would want us to highlight in the position announcements as we publicize. So.
Yeah, thank you. I suspect most of us are seeing this for the first time, right?
Yes.
It will take us a little while to kind of go over step by step and how do we want to do it now? We want to be very democratic here. I want to get your input. That's the best way to review this. We wouldn't like anything advertised and, your input and say, I wish this was included. Okay.
Just a suggestion, maybe give us a period of time to provide input. Maybe a short 24 hours.
So we have a short time now. We need to get it out as quickly as possible. So
We can go through each one.
Huh?
We can go through each one, maybe.
each one right now, yeah.
See.
Yeah, sure. If you don't mind, we could go through each responsibility as listed here, because you're very much familiar with the assembly. The first major responsibility, in other words, position description is up here. Let's just go through it. The Chancellor of Southern University Agricultural Research and Extension Center is the Chief Executive Officer of the Agricultural Campus of Southern University System. That's a given. You report to the President of Southern University System and to the Southern University Board of Supervisors as required. The Chancellor is responsible for all activities of SUAG, including but not limited to research and extension, programmatic functions, financial and administrative affairs, and the others, that should be what? Supportive, take out the SR part, the other supportive services. Does anyone have any problem with the description? It's very thorough. Okay. Now the responsibilities. Reviewing and approving research and extension programs.
We should have programs and grants.
That's inclusive.
That's inclusive. That's inclusive, yes.
Would you want to say experience preferred? Experience preferred.
Well, yeah, and I thank you. Those are the actual attributes. I mean, if you may want to highlight how many years of experience you think that this candidate should have, or what are some of the more common time of service, years of experience, educational quality.
That goes under attributes. These are responsibilities.
Did I hear all the comments at the first one? Reviewing and approving research and extension programs. Do we need to elaborate on that, or that's very straightforward?
Very straightforward.
Okay.
And certainly we would like to see that those he or she have experience in 1890.
What?
The 1890 land grant setting.
This
As opposed to an 1860.
I think that page is responsibility.
Right.
I think we need a page that's user responsibilities, qualifications, PhD, we need to put those areas. That's not just here.
Yeah, because I would imagine when it's going out to Robbie, you'll have all that,
The standard listings.
standard things with the qualifications, et cetera, et cetera.
Some of that will be determined.
Sure. Okay. Developing and implementing educational, administrative, and fiscal policies, procedures, and programs for the campus consistent with the policies of the Southern University System.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes. And
As I scan through the listing, number one and number two in my mind carries the most weight for this position, because if you look at the rest of them where it talks about appointments, where it talks about faculty, where it talks about
personnel or it talks about budgets, anybody that doesn't know anything about agriculture can do those kinds of jobs. They can walk in from across the campus and do that. I think a lot of weight needs to be put on these first two, and then when you're back over here to go down the list, we'll get to talking about USDA. Those kinds of, that person needs to know about research and what research is going on and what needs to be done here to move our system forward to be competitive with other centers such as this.
Well, as a committee, I'm pretty sure at some point we're going to be developing an evaluation instrument. And then the committee will decide how to weight those attributes. And it will come right back in line with what we're saying here.
What are the
Yeah, sure. So does that satisfy with you? Yeah, no, sure, we're together with that. Okay, are there any other comments? And second one? Number 3, setting the salaries and duties of the members of the faculty, administrative and professional staff, subject to the recommendation of the president and approval of the board.
Could you take that and make it broader? Because it not only going to set the salaries and duties, they're going to set the budget. And encompassing in that budget will be salary, all of it. You know, they're operating within a budget.
How do we modify this?
Fiscal responsibility.
So to submit an annual budget to the president.
Fiscal responsibility.
Fiscal responsibility.
I think that would capture.
So number 6 touches on some of the things you're talking about, Dr. Eubanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we may need to.
But how do you feel about the concept of setting the salaries and duties of the members of the faculty? Would that be the responsibility of the CEO? Is that okay?
It would be the responsibility.
Yeah.
I was just looking how it encompasses.
Right.
From the standpoint of the overall budgetary concerns that are all there.
Do you have anything to help Ms. Linda, how you want to modify that?
Well, setting the annual budget that's submitted to the president, or recommendation, and administering the approved budget for the campus. And in that approved budget, it would entail all that it takes to operate the ag center at the facility.
Initiating, recommending the fiscal budget and that kind of stuff.
Did you capture that? Yes. Ms. Patties?
I mean,
Okay.
it would be more than just the annual, but
Yeah.
sometimes you submit budget changes.
Right.
Yes.
Throughout the semester.
Okay. Making all other appointments, promotions, transfers, suspensions, and dismissal of all faculty and staff, administrative and professional employees, subject to the recommendation of the president and approval of the board, in coordination with the university systems appointing authority. I guess there should be a comma here, a lowercase I. Okay. Is there any problem with that? Right here, okay. 5, approving personnel actions relating to classified personnel and unclassified personnel in positions exempt from the classified service by special action. This seems your every word is here. Yeah, let's see how we can work with this. Approving personnel actions relating to classified personnel and unclassified personnel in positions exempt from the classified service by special action of the state of Louisiana, Department of Civil Service. In our personnel recommendation, the Chancellor shall give due consideration to the opinion and views of the appropriate programmatic and administrative staff. Ms. Woods just joined us. Could you tell them who you are, Ms. Woods?
Good afternoon. I apologize for being late. My name is Tracy Woods. I serve as the general counsel for the State University System and board of supervisors, and I also be your legal advisor.
So folks, don't worry, she keeps us on the show. Okay, good. Okay, do we have a problem with that?
How do you deal with, some of our employees are paid on USDA? So here it says, that's a Department of Civil Service, but we have a number of research associates, administrative assistants.
They're governed by civil service, that would cover everybody. Yeah. The only person we can't cover is Allison.
She's
fair, she's strictly federal, okay. All right. Number 6, any questions? I don't want to be moving too fast now. Windsor, I know you're looking very closely there. You have any problem with 5?
We're good.
You did, okay, all right, okay. 6, preparing and submitting a consolidated campus budget after review of the budgets of the various divisions of the campus and the recommendation of the heads of these divisions and the management of the budget as approved by the president and the board. Is that pretty clear?
Yep.
All right. Representing the campus or part thereof to the community, USDA and other external agencies and to the public in general. And I know the nature of this, this is a very, very important one.
Yes.
Because whoever is going to have the accent here has to be someone who can relate to the community and to all these external agencies. USDA has been our bread and butter over the years. Mr. President, we got to stick with the USDA now, so that's very important. Do you have any questions about number 7? All right.
I think you need to spell out USD.
United
You
States.
know, we are here and we know what.
Yes, just spell it out. United States Department of Agriculture, and you can just put that USDA in parentheses. Okay, good. Providing oversight over all fundraising activities. You think that comes out of the purview of the Chancellor? That's the agency. Okay, good. 9, representing SUAG, I take out D, representing SUAG. Did you spell out what SUAG is earlier?
Yeah, we did earlier.
Okay.
You have used it there, don't you?
Yeah, representing SUAG with the Louis and Board of Regents and other governmental agencies.
This one is in bold, it doesn't particular reason.
Yeah, we check with Ms. Roberts.
All right, okay.
See, so that
Yeah.
you have to put the D there because it would be representing in Southern University and it could go without, if you spell it representing Southern University.
Let me hear you, Pat. What is it? Take out the D? Oh.
Well, you said strike it out and I'm here debating. When you read it aloud, it should make sense to the ears.
Yeah, but are you comfortable with the D there or?
Representing the Southern University of Agriculture, you said an extension, or representing Southern University.
I really did thank you because these are.
All right, that's fine, that's fine. Let's leave it alone. Okay. 10, serves as a primary advocate for SUAG, inclusive of the Southern University system from Newton Stella.
Well, up front, you see, you put SUS design.
Do we have?
Decide first, the president of Southern University system. If you put SUS on that position description, then you can get away with it here. But
Yes. First. You got it, number 2, that's put SUS.
Yeah, he reports to the president.
And then we have it covered here.
Yeah, we get to number 2, and we can put the initials. Where that Southern University system still up.
Yeah, then if you do it up top, then the SUS.
We could just leave it here. Serves as the primary advocate for SUAG, inclusive of the SUS and the supply system. In security.
Security.
Oh, we're so conscious about security. Security, okay. In securing the support and partnership of stakeholders, donors, alumni, potential students, and other land grant institutions.
Mr. Chairman, comment please, and I drifted on one and I apologize. This one's gonna kind of tie into, if you'll go back to number 8, just for my benefit.
Okay.
Are we talking about selling popcorn and hot dogs, or are we talking about writing grants for, writing research grants? No, it says fundraising activities.
I suspect what is meant here is anything extramural funding. You go in, you may solicit funding from your alumni, et cetera, et cetera. Or you may put on, we had a gala, that's it, yeah, and someone was generated there, things like that.
Oversight.
Yeah. Provide some oversight, that there's integrity in the process, at least that's my interpretation. Yeah, okay.
So probably provide oversight for, extramural funding or whatever, rather than the oversight over.
Okay, providing exercise for extramural funding.
Funding opportunities.
Funding opportunities,
I
whatever.
said funding opportunities that broadens it would be.
Provide oversight for
For
funding opportunities.
That's right,
external
that's
funding.
good.
Extramural funding, Bernstein word, extramural funding activity. Okay. Funding opportunities or activities.
Opportunity is good.
Opportunities. Okay. What we're doing is think about it, see if there's anything else we need to include now. Okay, works in partnership with the Executive Vice President for Academic Affairs and Progress to integrate research and extension programming with teaching as pertains to the land grant mission. As it pertains.
Research and extension.
Are there any comments on that? No. Because it's very important that we understand, and I have this discussion with the president, that we get involved with the academic program, because the president has, extension does plays a major role in helping recruiting students to the university. Yeah. And research, okay. So that's very important.
Should we say something that related to the College of Agriculture and the College of Science and Agriculture, and that particular thing, working together?
I don't think.
No.
Because we work with the College of Agriculture, but we also have a relationship with school of nursing. We have a relationship with the Law Center and the College of Business as well.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure everything is captured here, because as the president realizes that many of our faculty have student appointment with the Baton Rouge campus. We just don't want to go into a silent. We want to make sure the academic component is there's some relationship that the students can benefit, because we have a lot of state-of-the-art laboratories.
Right.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I think it says as it pertains to land grant mission, that pretty much is specified.
Yeah, sure, sure. And 12, appropriately advising the assistant president on important matters affecting the campus. That's very appropriate.
I have timely fit.
That's weird.
No, you can appropriately advise someone, it could be late, but it should be timely.
Timely, does everybody agree with Calvin there? Said appropriately? Appropriately advised.
Appropriately and timely.
Appropriately and timely.
If it is not timely, it's not appropriate.
Appropriately advising the system in a timely manner. In a timely manner. Put in a timely manner after president. In a timely manner.
Well, maybe you need to take out the appropriate and just say advising the assistant president in a timely manner.
Yeah, okay, in a timely manner. On matters affecting the campus. Can we think of anything else that need to go in here?
Can we assume that when you say campus, we're talking about this campus?
Yeah, this campus. Yeah, this campus. It's not that campus, campus. Any references about the ad center campus? Yeah, but the president has to be advised, in a timely manner as to what is happening at this campus, because falls under his jurisdiction.
I think
We had
advising
challenged
and,
to go ahead and put those acronyms in there,
But,
just in case somebody off the sidewalk reads that statement.
Say what the parents.
affecting the.
It's SUAG campus.
SUAG campus. Thank you very much.
I was thinking of inclusion of the word informing, even though advising, could mean that, but advising and informing. This is, because if you are turning in a report as an informative piece to the president, then that would become informing. And advising is still, the way I think it, that's something.
How should we do it? Yeah.
I was thinking advising and informing.
Advising.
Informing.
Which one comes first? Inform and then advise.
Maybe informing and advising.
Yeah, informing first.
Informing and advising.
I'm telling you this, but I'm advising you not to touch it.
Isn't that for minutes, so the first thing I want to have too much information. Okay, all right. That's not for the record. What do you have here?
Before we move on,
Yeah.
notice 1 through 9
Yeah.
ends in ing, so we need to go ahead and 10 and 11, surveying and working.
Because they said it.
Yes.
Okay, working.
Surveying,
Survey.
Certainly.
and then that work, and that work well too, because you just.
Sure.
To advise.
Sure, I agree.
And could possibly reorder from the standpoint of 3 and 6 are related. Their salaries and then the budget consideration, so either moving 6 up or.
Let me get, that one,
3 and 6 are similar, and reordering the way in which it's presented.
okay, so you suggest we combine them?
No, not necessarily combined, just move.
Just relocate.
Relocate.
Relocate 6 maybe to.
So 6 now become 4.
Yeah.
That fine, or you want it to be 3?
Six may need to become 3.
3, yeah.
All right, 6 becomes 3, okay.
3 becomes 4.
3 becomes 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, and then you go to 7, 8, 9, 10, okay, 12. Let me hear from the committee, is there anything else you would like to add? Yeah, Calvin.
And I'm here. Well, we need civil service applications, upgrades. The last one we used is form related duties as assigned. You know, we always had it at 5 or 10%. I think we should have this. Really familiar with those applications. Everybody did well, as you had. Perfect, and that's the catch-all.
So we're gonna take nothing of that same form, performing all other duties as
Assigned
that.
by the president question.
No,
On his designee.
what
I
item
can
on
continue with it.
number
That's a
2?
new one.
It's a new one.
Number 2, I was thinking, did we mention research there?
Yeah, that's what we.
Developing and implementing educational.
Research.
What is research?
One,
I think,
Number 2.
one person at a time, let, who has it for?
I
Cameron, let me join this.
I was looking at number 2, and research is missing, and I think you're right, extension is missing.
In number 2?
Yes,
It should be involving in implementing educational research and strategy. Research is missing.
Okay, educational?
I think it should.
All of that should be under educational.
Uh,
I think all of that research and
Research and extension.
will fall under educational.
Everyone's not on.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
but I did think to myself that it had on here about consistent with the policies of the study university system, but we're kind of special. We have another set of policies called the USDA that needs to be in this one as well. Because it kind of regulates a lot of what we do with this educational, fiscal, and all that stuff as well. I'm thinking it should be included in number 2 there.
And reporting agencies.
Yes, sir. You're going to add that in as well.
Make it broad.
Fully regulated by.
So which one is?
Number 2.
Number 2, so it would read like what, developing and implementing educational.
Administrative and fiscal policy procedures and programs for the campus consistent with the policies of the Southern University system. And I think USDA and NIFA, but you have so many others. Reporting agencies.
Other funding agencies.
And funding agencies.
Funding agencies.
And funding,
Other funding.
And funding
Other
agencies.
funding agencies.
okay. All right, good observation. That's why the president appointed you guys, that you're gonna bring something to the table. Okay, good. Okay, good. Do you think we have it fully covered now?
Was research added?
It's the education.
Education covers.
Okay.
Education was brought it up.
Since we have research and extension, we already have.
Yeah.
The extension is one for all.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in number 1.
It's gonna be in research.
It's in number 1.
But not limited to research and extension programmatic function. I would.
It's in number 1.
I like to say it's well written. I spend more time Saturday and Sunday developing one, so now I'm not going to even bring it out. You know, because it's well written.
Could I have a motion to accept your
I make a motion.
responsibilities?
I second.
Okay. All in favor,
I,
signify by saying aye. Okay. Responsibilities have been approved. Let's move on. Overview of the search process. Are you gonna take them back?
I'm gonna ask if Ms. Tracy Woods.
Ms. Tracy, yeah.
Up there with us, both around, you want to provide,
Yeah.
Good evening, afternoon, everyone. I will provide a written document to follow up on this, but I do want to talk about the nature of this search and the nature of this committee. We serve as a public body for purposes of this search, so everything we do is subject to public meeting, public comment, and public notice. So every time we meet, we have to give out 24-hour notice, we have to post our agenda, and we have to be open for the public to attend.
Okay.
That would include our interview process as well as anything we have to discuss about the candidates. We can't go into what we call executive session under one of the, under exception to the public meetings rule where we can talk about personnel matters. We can go into an executive session where we don't have to include the public. If you've seen, most of you've been attend board meetings, you know we do that on occasion, and we can do that as a committee.
Could you repeat that just to make sure we're clear? If we have to talk about.
Discuss.
Yeah, discuss.
Personnel issues about the candidates.
Yes.
We can't go, we meet an exception to the public meetings laws, which say we can go in executive session and have this discussion, no records are kept, no votes are taken, and then we can discuss the matter, and then we can come back out to the public and reconvene as a public body, and then do any votes if necessary.
Okay.
Okay?
are we obligated to say the chair or the co-chair obligated to say anything if we go into executive session and come out?
No, we just have to convene an executive session, and if we're gonna do executive session, I'll write the language so the chair can do it. The body will have to approve it. We go in executive session, we meet, we reconvene in public, then we reconvene ourselves. We have a motion to go back into public session, all that's in the minutes, and then we can go into public. We don't have to discuss what we talked about. But if there's a vote to be taken, we have to do that in the public body and not in it. So we can't take a census, we can't kind of say where you all, we just cannot, we have to be very careful about how we discuss things in private in executive session. Now, another thing I want to talk about too is that we are considered a quorum when we have a majority of us at any time together. So, we have to be careful about how we email, we have to be careful about conference calls, all of those things that would constitute, if there's a quorum of us, it's gonna be a majority, and that's subject to public meetings. So if we want to have conference call, we would have to schedule it, so only, a small number on the phone at a time, so we don't meet the quorum requirement. If we, want to do email, we can do email, which may be subject to public meetings, so we have to be careful about what we talk about per email, because if you send it out to the whole committee, then it's subject to a public records request. So you have to be careful on that. So if, many of us on the committee, 16, 20, 13, 15, so eight at one time would be considered a quorum. So if we have 8 at any point in time on the telephone, email, or otherwise, we are considered a quorum, so we cannot communicate, it has to be subject to public meeting requirements. So I would have to be present, and, all of us, we have to probably give notice. So we need to do telephone conferencing for any reason, we need to schedule it, so less than 8 people on the phone at a time.
Less than 8, yes.
So we don't violate the law.
Okay. For 8 or more, it's a quorum.
It's a quorum, then it would be considered a public meeting.
Okay.
Third prompt, we got to use, 16 for weeks, 4, 5 weeks there.
Yeah, you can do 3, yeah, because we've done that before, where you can just have a couple people on the phone, and the chair would probably be on all the calls, so you'd have to schedule it, so he would be, so everybody would hear the same thing. So a couple of us would have to be on the phone on all the calls to make sure the information is the same.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Are you clear? Clear?
I
Now, if you
think
have, now, let me say another thing. If you get a public records request, I think, Ms. Mayor, you handle all public records requests. So,
The chair.
it's public record, and no one speaks to the public besides the chair or Ms. Mayor. So if anybody solicits anything from any of you, refer that to Ms. Mayor and the chair. They will, meet, get the information together. We'll determine if it's a public document, and then we will release it. Okay?
Okay.
So, we just want to make sure we take caution in how we proceed with the search. All right, any questions?
Any questions from Ms. Moody?
I have a comment. I would like to echo what you said. I'm just going off a USDA board, and every year we employ it. And we always advise every month, be careful what you write in your emails. I'm communicating to Windsor and 5 others, so be careful what you say. Don't say anything related to a candidate.
Yeah.
But just, yes. Because at some point, someone is going to ask.
That's right.
You want to make sure that you have in there is good.
Because it will probably all be subject to, now that if you want something to be privileged, you need to email it to me.
Right.
And then it's covered under privilege.
Could we have your contact, for the record? I'm a retired fireman. I don't want to be drastically much. We make sure we have all the protection.
Okay.
Let's get clear.
My email address is Tracy, TRACIE, _Woods, WOODS, @SUS.edu.
You got that? You got that. Are there any questions for Ms. Woods?
Would you repeat it, please, ma'am?
Tracy, TRACIE, _Woods,
With the S.
with an S, @SUS.edu. Did you say? Yes.
Are there any questions for Ms. Woods? very fortunate.
Okay, I'll just follow up with the requirements, so you'll have something in your records, so you'll have the records.
Okay.
All right.
Would I be asking too much, Ms. Woods, if you put out something in an email for me to look at, just?
Yeah, that's what I'll do, I'll send it to you.
You're gonna do that?
Yes, I'll send it to you, okay.
Thank you very
We
much.
appreciate, okay.
All right. Discussion of recruitment strategy.
Well, we actually have a resident, search committee expert in the name of, Robin Mayer.
Robin Terry, yes.
I thought she would, offer some,
Yeah, Robin.
Right.
Thank you, Dr. Belton. Actually, yes, we've done 2 searches that have been completed as of now. We have 3 ongoing through the office. This being our last and final one that we hope to be doing from the office of the president in this manner. And as such, we have typically reached out to the customary publications for higher education for those who are looking for employment. I understand that the Ag Center is a little bit different, so we'll, in addition to those typical places that we'll go, which is a Journal of Blacks in Higher Education, the Chronicle of Higher Education, and Diverse Issues. Those are the 3 that we've used pretty consistently. And so from that, we will look at some publications and units that Dr. Eubanks has shared with us that are Ag exclusive or extension exclusive. And we'll be also working with the 1890 Land Grant Association Organization. And we're hoping that you all will give us any other places perhaps that we may want to consider sending our announcement to. Position description, which is a general description that's separate from the job descriptions, just talking about the Ag Center and the position that's available. We'll send that out. We'll also be creating a website that will be a site from the system website along with links from each of the campus sites. So it'll be an exclusive site that's about the search. And the intent here is to drive everyone who's interested in the position to the website. And obviously, for obvious reasons, I should say, because of cost constraints, it costs a lot to put lengthy ads out there. So we can do a lot on our website at no cost. So we'll be putting the details of the search in terms of who to contact, the timeline, the committee members, qualifications, and even the application process. We'll keep all of this electronic. So the intent here too is to have everyone submit their applications through a portal that will then be sent to the chairs of the committee along with myself and then on to the committee members for review. So that's pretty much our recruitment strategy that's worked for us in previous searches, and I'm certainly open to any comments or suggestions, understanding that the Ag Center is a little different from the other searches that we've done.
I'd like to get some guidance from Ms. Woods. Once we get application, are we at liberty to make copies?
Oh, yes, you can
Okay.
share them with the group,
But just with the group, not with the public.
unless somebody makes a request.
If someone makes a request,
So we'll have to release the names.
okay.
If they don't, then you just keep moving.
But you don't want to share one's resume with the public or anything like that, right?
But unfortunately, we are a public body. So as a public body,
Yeah.
your records are public. So we don't have a separate search firm or one working through foundation or being paid for private dollars. So if we get a resume, if someone sends a request for everybody who's applied, nominated, then we're subject to release those names. So usually when it's a public search, candidates know that up front, so they know if they submit their names, that they may be subject to public records and their names may be submitted to the public.
Okay,
Okay?
okay.
And thanks.
You don't have to volunteer them.
Yeah, I understand. I
Okay?
understand.
You don't have to volunteer them, but if somebody makes a request, then we can't prevent them from having the name.
Okay.
Okay?
And Tracy was a good point that at the bottom of our announcement, we will list that this is a search that is open to the public, meaning if someone does request, we can share that information. I understand that's the case with a lot of applicants. They may not want to apply until closer to the end so that their names are not floating out there during this entire search. I think everyone understands that. So one other thing, Mr. Chair, we did not discuss nominations. That's something to consider as well. In our process, it's been our practice, I should say, that if nominations are received, we're then in turn asking those persons to apply. So we won't necessarily entertain the nomination as a full applicant. That person does need to express their interest individually for the search.
And you will make that request, I do,
In terms of,
nominations.
it will be a part of the, what will go on the website about how nominations are received. If we receive nominations,
Oh, I see.
we can turn around and ask those persons to apply.
Okay. But who does he ask?
I can do that.
You do it. Okay.
I can do that on your behalf.
Yeah, okay, that's it.
And it will be something like that. On behalf of the chairman,
Yeah, okay.
I will receive a nomination for you. If you're interested, please.
Please apply. Okay, that's.
Chairman, question.
Yes, yes.
To digress just a moment, if there is someone who requests information from one of us in reference to an application, can I refer that person to?
Absolutely.
And I don't have to worry about
That
it.
is correct.
I've had some extensive training working with the state, it's just here.
Oh, yeah. You've been around Windsor, so you understand how the process works, you know?
I know a little bit about Dan Kyle, everybody knows him.
Robin, I appreciate your nomination comment, because that has already come up, and it's already been requested, so I appreciate knowing how you're gonna do that.
Okay, okay. Okay, can we move on now? I get a question regarding strategy. Is it clear to everyone, the committee? Yep. Ms. Mary could serve primarily as a portal, and then whatever she gets, filters that to us. Okay.
The three that I provided to Ms. Mary was APOU,
Nice.
Association of Extension Administrators.
ARD.
And also the Research Directors. With those three. And I gave her the, well, I will, I texted on, and I gave her the executive director's name. Okay, midnight. That's me sometimes. APOU, that's the Association of Public Management. ARD and AEA.
18 ARD.
ARD, that's the Association of Research Directors.
And Association of Extension
18
Administrators.
Yeah, etc. Yeah. So I think we cover our bases now.
And I guess the other thing that, once it's all developed and everything like that, if you're going to any meetings, I know Dr. Potham will be going to AEA meeting, and if anybody else is going to the meeting, you can take along with you, you know, or either, when we go to these meetings, we do updates. You can update and let them know, that the search is going forward.
Okay.
Question, Mr. Chairman, before you go any further, while we got, Big Doctor talking. Since I live so far away and have not had a bird's eye view of this particular campus of late, is there anything on the desk or on in print that gives me a working knowledge of what's currently going on and what this particular campus is doing?
We have a website and directing to there, and also there's a full description of how many acres the experiment station is and the different research projects that are going forward. But we can provide you some additional information.
You think you could help me with that?
Okay.
Are you sure? Remember, we still.
Well, I know I'm missing one information.
Okay.
Thank
you, Mr. Chairman.
And Windsor, you know, straight, you get a chance to just come here, we could get Cameron, Calvin, just take you on a tour, that everything, you get a good feel for what's.
There are some reports, as you mentioned, is on the website, but I can be printed and give it to him even today.
Yeah. Are there any other questions? Thank you. Okay. Okay.
Based on that question, one of the things that each of us should do or become familiar with is the extracts and website. Because the candidates coming, and if, you know, whoever, if they're good, they will work. They will know everything that's out there.
Sure.
And they may very well be opening up for questions that they may have. You know, as a committee, we should know what's going on. Yeah.
And if that candidate is serious coming, I'm pretty sure that candidate should really familiarize themselves with the website, because we're going to ask, as a committee, we want them to at least express their vision, you know, and for the accent, and tell us or they're uniquely qualified for the position. So,
Right.
yeah, they have to do their preparation prior to coming, yeah. Yeah. So that'll be up on the website, yeah, that's great, yeah. Discussion of meeting schedule. Now, Ms. Robin, can you tell us, give us any guidance on that? How often do we have to establish words?
Oh, you can meet as often as you like, you just have to make sure we have it, give notice.
Okay, okay. So our next meeting, what I would suggest, I know Gina, she's so privileged, she's gonna be traveling to South Africa. And when you leave, next Tuesday, and she won't be back until the 31st. And I would like our next meeting to be sometime in early February. And, prior to that,
application is the 10th.
You know, it's definitely an application.
the deadline for the application is the 10th. But it looks like we should have a meeting before, because what I have in mind, we need to have an evaluation instrument worked out, where we can discuss it as a committee. And I'm trying to find out the best strategy of doing that. It look, how about appointing a subcommittee to put together an evaluation instrument that when we get back, we'll look at it as a committee and see if we have all the points here. We can make an objective assessment of the candidates coming.
Dr. Millett, we can share with you some of the evaluation instruments that were used in previous searches
Okay.
as a base that you may want to take into modify for this search.
That would be great. Well, let me just name 4 people to spearhead that for me. And I'll start out with my good friend over here, Bernstein. And I want to pick 4 people, Bernstein, Dr. Patton, Dr. Sabato, he's good with all the statistics and putting things together. And Lee, since you're not too far from us, would you agree to serve on that committee? Just look at the instrument. So the record should reflect that individual spearheading the development of that evaluation instrument. Dr. Bernstein Levine, Dr. Patton, Dr. Sabato, and Mr. Lee Hampton.
Would you like to give them a
Is there anybody else who would like to fit in? I would think a committee of 4 would be adequate. Cameron?
I don't mind, I mean, that's up to you. I think it's well represented.
Well represented.
Yes.
But, you know, I'm giving everybody an opportunity if you want to. And, okay, all right, good. So,
Are you gonna set a time?
Yeah.
For them to have it, for the group as a whole?
how should we do it? I'm trying to see.
So you have to have a meeting prior to her leaving.
No. We want to do the meeting, the first week in February, and I'm just trying to see, we have a calendar, you know, let's see.
The first comes in on Monday. The first comes in on Monday.
The first is a Monday.
The first is a Sunday.
The first is a Monday, and that Wednesday, what about 3 o'clock? Is 3 o'clock a good time for you?
I'm in class until
I know Wednesday you got to travel that far. I know that you're teaching classes.
I would say Wednesday's not a good day. I'm sure for that Wednesday.
Oh, that Wednesday?
On the 3rd, yeah, so maybe
The Thursday?
Yeah. The 2nd, the Tuesday.
The second,
I'm in class.
all these folks teach, yeah, that's it, I got to take that.
Thursday, the 2nd of February.
When did you have the day? The Tuesday, what? Wednesday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday? Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Thursday, the 5th.
What about your partner? Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Monday, Wednesday.
That's your bad days. And who else is teaching? Okay, so Tuesday and Thursday.
Tuesday and Thursday.
And that Thursday would be what day now? The 4th. Let's plan our next meeting for the 4th.
Okay.
The 4th, is 3 o'clock too late, folks, sir? Can we move it up to 2 o'clock? I have eye problems, so I can't travel in the night, so I watch this time, you know, as soon as it's getting dark, I can't be with
2 p.m.
that, you know?
2 p.m.
1 o'clock or 11.
1 o'clock, 1 o'clock? Would that be okay with you, Windsor? I know you have to come
Yes,
the
greatest
the greatest distance. 1 o'clock time?
And we'll have refreshments the next time.
Oh.
And coffee.
Next meeting,
Yes.
yeah, right, but maybe, Robin, you can guide me that, maybe we have some extra cheers over here, just in case, anybody from the public shows up, they're visiting up here. Okay. Next meeting,
So we decided on.
Entire committee or just the subcommittee?
Four.
no, the entire committee, but the subcommittee, at that meeting, the subcommittee will be bringing that instrument, and then we look at the instrument as a whole.
Good.
And once we approve that, and, Ms. Merrick is gonna send some, whatever insurance you'll be using,
Yes.
and you're gonna send it directly to them, or you send it to me? And
I'll
then
send it to you, I'll send it to them and copy you.
Please. Next meeting, February 4th at 1 p.m. And we'll be right here, this one, okay.
Can you recommend turn all the lights on in the next meeting? It's kind of like in the dungeon days.
Well, the
I didn't
lights,
think about that, yeah.
oh, you mean down there?
The back lights are,
Okay.
budget constraints.
That's it, that's
What
it.
they call-
Let's turn the lights on.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
You pay it like you should get paid. All right.
It's not very inviting today.
how did you? Maybe that's out there for now, yeah, the lights out.
Are there any other business for discussion? Any other business?
The subcommittee, report of four,
Evaluation.
You guys get to the
they are all fully, the meeting will be Saturday. Four.
Oh, it's over.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, let's see, we may will talk.
yeah, you guys could decide on that, talk about Savannah, and see how it goes. Okay,
One more thing, Dr. Malata,
Yes.
the other dates are gonna stay, exactly as it is, or they're fluid?
Probably discuss that.
you mean the tentative timeline?
Exactly, that you have, it would be nice to.
Given what the president said, we're trying to, I know it's very aggressive, but
Right.
we're trying to stick with it. as
Okay,
best as we
so
can.
it's fair to say that we're gonna stick with these?
Yes. All right, now, if a need arises for any modification, then we can address that, but let's stick with this at the moment. Let me see where we are now, Mr. Robin, before we break here. Review the position description, that's gonna be another, right? Yeah, okay, all right. As soon as possible, so position will be announced, and the deadline for application is February 10th. Which means we could, if we get applications after that, they are not accepted, is that correct?
They're not accepted, that's correct, and we'll email them back to simply say that the deadline.
Gotcha, okay, we're sticking with that, February 10th, okay. All right, so I don't think we have anything else, I think this is,
Did we discuss qualifications?
Qualification.
we are going,
Qualification.
PhD.
oh, the qualification.
That's going to be in here, right? This,
But,
Maybe we need to subcommittee for that.
this is our position description.
no, let's decide on the basic qualifications. Okay. Like we have each time, things that we could look at here.
Terminal
degree.
Terminal.
What was a terminal degree, the person with a DVM, Dr. Veterinary Medicine, you know what I'm saying, so that person could not be excluded. So, let's put it together, what were you coming up here? Application.
I looked at, since Robin is the expert, I looked at Chancellor, and I looked at, the law center. And the law, Chancellor was right on
Both of them were good, but I like the way you did it with Southern.
That's right,
And
okay.
it was, and that's what I was trying to find on.
Yes,
So I had-
typical.
so I could read it, because I had reviewed that.
5 years of C-level administration.
Just put it up here because this will help us. Just make sure we invent it.
Reinventing the wheel.
That's right.
Just one second. Let's see.
That's why I like Madam Gina. You know. She has everything.
Okay, I gotta find it. People talk quick.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, Robin has it. Okay, good.
Yeah,
Thanks,
yeah.
Cal.
Calvin has, let's see.
Go for it, Cal.
Yeah,
Okay, so, it's small.
yeah.
I got it.
Yeah, an earned doctorate from an accredited
Good,
institution,
okay,
senior level
good.
administrative experience, progressive and responsible experience in higher education administration, financial management, technological resources for education, resource and program development or related skills in student and faculty recruitment, experience in academic and strategic planning, and effective human resource and budgetary management, demonstrated commitment to achieving the mission of a 2-year college, commitment to working with students, faculty, staff, alumni, business, and community partners, broad knowledge of methods in developing and initiating articulation agreements with 4-year institutions, and excellent verbal and written communication skills and strong interpersonal skills. That is what we listed as the qualifications. And I think that's it.
Yes.
And
That's
all very similar. Yeah, some of these things
Yeah.
were just simply tweaked for the campus that was involved.
So before, did you read the part, the one you wrote, and it also talked about the Southern University system seeks a dynamic individual, that includes what you are expecting in the candidate in here. With a proven record of leadership that demonstrates excellence in academic and intellectual accomplishments, significant administrative experience in education, education administration and management, strong background in community education and lifelong learning programs, and the ability to work collaboratively with faculty, administrators, and staff to accomplish the responsibilities of the position. And then that's when, I think that's when Liz Robin read, the successful candidate.
Yeah,
Will have, yeah.
Yeah, but let's see how we could modify this to fit us over here now. Southern University system.
I think this is what we would talk about, a strong background in the 1890 land grant, mission, land grant, system, because it is important that that individual understands. Yes, sir. Because here it says, a strong background in community education and lifelong learning programs. I think it's in that paragraph they talk about the 1890 land grant system.
Yeah, but just let's modify this, what we have here, what we talk about qualification. Southern University system seeks a dynamic individual with a proven record of leadership
and excellence.
Leadership that demonstrates excellence in our case for the ad center, which is
Research
and extension.
So basically you plug in the research.
I didn't make it was modification here.
Research and extension accomplishments.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, and then significant administrative experience in, and I think that in education administration.
I think you could put teaching in there too.
You think teaching?
Especially since we started more classes.
Okay.
We are teaching them because that's important. That person has to interact with students. And
Because we.
Yeah.
Teaching research extension.
We said teaching.
Yeah,
An extension.
Teaching research
Above
extension.
land grant.
All right, let's not confuse Ms. Robin here. Where we now with her,
With significant
Significant
administrative experience in.
yeah,
Teaching research and extension.
teaching research and
That's
extension.
the land grant mission.
Okay.
Teaching research and
A
extension.
strong background in,
Here we say community education and lifelong learning
we
programs.
want to say 1899 grant.
Land grant mission. Tri-parent. Nice.
And the, I think this last one, I don't know, y'all can tell me, and the ability to work collaboratively with faculty, administrators, and staff to accomplish
I think
the responsibility of the position.
Yes.
And that's clear.
That's important.
Right, that's very important.
And stakeholders.
Yeah.
Stakeholders.
And it's
Our stakeholders.
Very important.
Stakeholders.
Stakeholders. That's
Yeah.
very good.
Okay, very good.
All right.
Okay. And then the successful candidate. Will have, and here it says, an earned doctorate from an accredited institution.
Right, that's the
Yeah.
standard.
Okay.
That's it.
Senior level administrative, senior level administrative experience, preferably in higher education.
Would that be appropriate for us?
What if someone wanted to come from business but went to school at an 1890 institution and was on an advisory board or supporter?
Are they in administrative, if they have administrative experience, they're still covered. It just says preferably higher education.
Okay, okay, I didn't hear the word.
Preferably, it doesn't exclude, it doesn't exclude that person.
Preference.
Good point, Allison.
Progressive and responsible experience in higher education administration, financial management, technological resources for education, resource and program development, are related skills and students and faculty recruitment.
To be extension research instead of emphasizing on teaching.
I can't hear you guys.
Research. On those statements, instead of saying teaching, we could say extension research.
I think we should use all three.
All three of them.
Progressive and responsible experience in higher education administration.
Yeah,
Okay, and then it says financial management.
That's a-
That's good.
that's
And then
appropriate.
technological
That's very good.
resources for education,
Very good.
and then
research.
resource and program development are related skills and student and faculty recruitment.
Okay.
You don't need that.
No, yeah, we don't need that.
What?
We don't need student recruitment.
No,
Not student recruitment, we have to modify that.
no, we would put that here. I think we could have progressive and responsible, and responsible experience in higher education administration. That's important. Financial management, so everybody got that. Next one is what?
Technological resources for education.
Technological.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
And then resource and program development. Okay,
That's appropriate.
all related skills and student and faculty recruitment.
Take the student, and not take the student.
And then, the next, would be, it says experience in academic and strategic planning.
I think that will cover.
Skills.
That will cover. Germane to the, that's very good. Yeah.
Okay, the next one, experience in academic and strategic planning and effective human resource and budgetary management.
I think that's very important.
Yeah, academic.
Do we need to put academic? I think it was academic. I think it was academic, strategic plan.
Strategic planning.
First, has to be a strategic.
That covers everything.
Yes.
So what is it now, one of these?
Experience in strategic planning.
Strategic.
An effective human resource and budgetary
Management.
Yeah, okay.
The next one reads, demonstrated commitment to achieving the mission of the asset. Here it says 2-year junior college,
That was for the junior
but
college.
here it would be, the asset.
Demonstrated commitment to achieving the mission of.
Want to say lanyard system or the?
Well, you can't.
We have all.
To the camp.
Yes. It was the.
Yeah. Okay, you ready for the next
That's
one?
what the research and extension.
Yes, okay, we got that.
Okay, the next one is commitment to working with students, faculty, staff, alumni, and business and community partners.
I think that's very appropriate. But again, commitment to working with
Students,
students, with that. Alison, you agree?
and we do work with students.
Yes,
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 we bring
sure.
students in.
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Faculty, staff, alumni, and business and community partners. Yeah, very good.
That's very good.
Dara, we covered everything in that. Oh, yeah.
Okay, the next one is, broad knowledge of methods in developing and initiating articulation agreements with four-year institutions and a background in successfully forming linkage with public schools in order to enhance enrollment efforts and develop programs that respond to the community needs.
That's important, the last part, developing programs that respond to community needs. That's important. And we.
So in other words, broad knowledge of methods in developing and initiating articulation agreements with four-year institutions and background in successfully forming linkages with public schools in order to enhance enrollment efforts. I think here we may want to say.
Agreement with agencies.
Partnership with the community, the U.S. Department of
I think forming the
Agriculture.
linkages, we can do a word that's broader than just schools, because we do form linkages with schools through our youth development programs that we have, and because that's where the students come from. So I think forming the linkages with stakeholders or with agencies or.
Stakeholders.
Stakeholders.
And
Because I
funding.
stakeholders are very important.
And funding agencies.
External funding agencies.
And funding.
One at a time, one at a time. So in other words, the linkages with stakeholders
Yes.
to enhance and develop programs that respond to community needs.
Hold on, make sure Miss.
Okay, you got it
Miss
right.
Robin.
In other words, what we did, it was very specific here,
Yes.
assessment, public
Yes,
schools.
sure.
We're saying here stakeholders. And one of our stakeholders might be public schools, but it also may be a nonprofit organization as well. And here, to enhance, and develop, programs that respond to the community needs.
We can read that statement.
Louisiana, state.
Make sure we get the statement clear.
Can you read that?
Just read it, read it back.
All right.
Miss Robin,
Right,
could
you
you
got
read?
it.
Should we read what you
Read
got?
what you had.
Broad knowledge of methods in developing and initiating articulation agreements. I was saying with institutions and a background in successfully forming linkages with stakeholders to enhance and develop programs that respond to community needs.
That's good. And you took it to institutions.
I took it.
So that means it can be a 2-year or 4-year, a land grant, a non-land grant.
For USDA.
Or agency.
I'm not understanding articulation agreements.
That's.
Like MOU.
So the MOU and articulation agreement?
Articulation agreement ties with students.
Yes, and
Okay.
courses being accepted from one campus
So we
to
need
the
to
other.
say
We need another word.
But the students matriculate, when they come from one school to another academic.
That's what they
So MOU
usually mean in the university setting. That's what articulation agreements usually mean in the university
So
setting.
we can change that word.
So, a memorandum of understanding.
Maybe MOU.
Agreement, that's agreement.
Make it simple. Agreement.
That's it.
That's
right.
Good, good.
Okay, last, component is excellent, verbal and written communication skills, and strong interpersonal skills.
Very.
Very appropriate, very appropriate.
Okay,
Say it again, man.
excellent verbal
Yes.
and written communication skills and strong interpersonal skills.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very
Can we
good.
say anything about temperament?
Well, that's what we
Personal skills,
interpersonal
interpersonal
skills.
skills.
How that factors
You measure,
into
you
that.
measure that. You measure the interpersonal skills.
The salary range, I'm not gonna touch that now, that's negotiable. Okay, what else? What else?
Yes, Lane.
That's it. Our writer has already indicated to us
The application
the application
process.
process. Yeah, so that's there, and where it goes and everything like that. And the other thing, this is from Sussex, it has the application process, the search committee, and then it says President/Chancellor of Southern University, and then college system appointed the following. So it'll list all of our names.
Yeah,
That
okay,
are there, and then it says who's the contact, and that was Ms. Robin Merritt.
yeah,
And then it says that, at the end of it, and I'm sure that'll be there, Southern University does not discriminate on the basis of race, color, origin, and all like that. So that, yeah. The other variable, right, that they may be wondering about, in that detail, it talks about, Southern University accent. So at front, where it talks about Shreveport, it says founded by legislative act in 1964. It'll also have that statement.
She has it
About
here.
that.
She has it here.
but you have that right.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. It's founded in 2000.
Yeah, so that'll be a part of this.
Okay, have we covered that to the satisfaction of everyone? I don't want to keep you here too, at least, pardon me, I didn't even wish everybody a happy new year. Mr. President, I've been from the campus 4 years now, so everything just looks strange to me. Okay, all right. Okay.
But you did that via email.
Yeah.
Yes, no, this is.
Yes, Christmas, yeah.
Oh, I did, yeah, sure.
You didn't say happy new year, you said Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, well, Happy New Year, it's appropriate. Well, I didn't have comments, Ms. Woods, do you have anything else to say? You think we,
Yeah, doing fine.
think we're following the law?
Yes, right.
All right. Okay. Could someone move for the adjournment?
So moved.
Okay, move a second there. Senator, and thanks a lot for your attention. I think this was a very, very useful meeting. And thanks for coming, President. Thank you, sir.